Hello, my name is Christina Brown, and I am doing a Draw My Life based on the 8 stages of Erik Erikson's psychosocial development theory. So first, we're going to start off with the past. So far, I have crossed 5 of the stages, and obviously I carry those with me and still work on them to this day. So we have trust and mistrust. I talked to my mom about this, and she said that I had a lot of support around me. All of my family members wanted to pitch in and help me, and I became really trustful as a result. I had a lot of consistent care and a very loving environment, so I was really trustful. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. So my mom told me that once I was able to pick up a spoon, I wanted to feed myself by myself. Obviously she was there to help me, but I still wanted to do things by myself. And this applied to a lot of things in my life. She would be there as a backbone, but ultimately I wanted to do things by myself and be more independent. Initiative versus guilt. So I loved discovering new things. I loved exploring. I liked new ideas, and I just really loved learning things. So I would hear things from my family members, and I would really want to share my ideas to everyone else I knew. But this was not good in certain situations. I remember to this day my kindergarten teacher getting mad at me when I would tell about my discoveries. And this really made me sad, because it's just I was a little kid at the time, and I understand as a teacher that it would get annoying when a little kid tells her thoughts all the time. But at the same time, it's just, I felt like all of my good ideas or thoughts were really out of place, so there was no place for them. So I kind of felt guilt. Industry versus inferiority. I went to a Catholic school when I was younger, and there was a lot of competition there. Basically, kids wanted to be the best. And this kind of made me think about what did all the other students get on their test? Or, I wonder what their grade is. And I would always look to the students that were most successful, and I would really be envious of all of their work. It's not that I got bad grades, it's just that I really wanted to be the top of my class. And this kind of carried out throughout my public school days. I would still compare myself to all the super duper smart kids. I would consider them golden children because they just did everything right. I just kind of wanted to be that, even though I knew my capabilities weren't there. Identity versus role confusion. So I was fortunate enough to have an older brother. I thought he was, I still think he is the coolest person that I know. He just has the charisma, he's just super popular and has all the friends, and I kind of wasn't really like that though. Nevertheless, I would still try to be that. I know that my personality is different, but I still wanted to be cool. I still wanted to fit in and have a lot of friends like him. I tried to buy new clothes, new outfits, things like that, and I would join all of these clubs and organizations to, be part of something larger of myself. I wanted to be popular and fit in with the rest of my peers. In reality, this didn't really work. This almost made me more confused. about where I really belonged because there were so many options, but I didn't know where I fit in. So I thought maybe this would be a good thing that I'm so involved, but I was ultimately more sad. I had friends that were supportive, but they weren't really part of the cool crowd. But the cool crowd, I would have to change my entire personality, and I just did not know where I belonged. So here we are, present day. I'm currently working on one stage, and that just so happens to be intimacy versus isolation. So, as a result from my role confusion, I didn't really know where I belonged, and I didn't know how to make close friends because I just struggled so much with who I was. Luckily, as I grew older, I figured out my identity and I learned how to interact with others and be more involved in a healthy way, and this didn't really start until after I graduated. Then I kind of began to shine a little bit. And to this day, I am lucky enough to have a long-term boyfriend, and I think I learned how to be more trusting and open. So now we move on to the future. I haven't really experienced any of these stages yet, but I can say things that I hope for. Generativity versus stagnation. Due to my career choice, I believe I'll have the more generativity aspect because I'll be doing a lot for the community by helping education and being involved in my students' lives and being involved in that way. Then we have integrity versus despair. I hope that I live a good life and I contribute a lot to my family and making sure I've done enough in my life to consider myself happy with where I am, and hopefully I'm proud of myself. So, what do I take from this? What do I take from student development and how I will be as a teacher? Well, I understand that as a future teacher, I will be more open to seeing students that have struggled with the stages and the other students that have been more successful. And with the students that have been more successful, they've been lucky enough to leap ahead, but there will be other students that don't really know where they are, and I really have to pay attention to that. Throughout each stage, each student has their own baggage, and it's important to keep that in mind, that not all students are the same. It's not about them as an individual. There's all these different aspects inside a student that really impact who they actually are. And as teachers, we have to keep an eye out for this. We have to understand that not all students have the same past. Some students have dealt with identity and have dealt with guilt and things like that, and other students have strived. So we really have to pay attention and watch for those things. And there will always be students that are high succeeding and just do everything well and have had all the good things from each stage. But there will also be students that are confused, and that's okay. And we have to make all students feel more welcome. Hopefully, as I become a teacher, I can make each student feel like they have a place within my classroom and, they're always welcome there.